Hi guys, welcome back to ETS2 and the third and hopefully final section of our trip to Russia. So we're in Belarus where we've just rested. Track IR seems fine. Don't need wipers. Let's go. Now I have made a couple of changes. Nothing drastic, we're still on our way to Russia. But I've added in a couple of mods. Grave, I know. There you go. So I've added in a bus pack by Jazzycat. Yet another of the great packs that Jazzycat does. This one's for 1.27 and should have added in loads of different models of buses and also logos and such like on the buses so they don't just look completely plain anymore. We will see, hopefully we will see some buses, and once we do we can see how that looks. So keep your eyes open for buses guys, and I'll try and point one out if I see it. But at the moment it's 4 o'clock in the morning, probably not many buses running at this time of day. So we may not see them for a little while, but we'll keep our eyes open and see what we come across. In the meantime we are heading for Russia. And hopefully we've got 8 hours driving time to go. We've just rested, so we've got 10.5 hours of time before we need to rest again, so we should make it before we rest. Is that a bus? No, that's a lorry the other side of the road. Okay. Hoping that was a bus for a second there. Now, I'm pretty sure we are in the Rusmap territory now. So it'll be interesting to see if we see any incidents or whatever, because as I've said in a previous video, I did see one where there was a crashed light aircraft at the side of the road. Well, in the field, not at the side of the road, but in the field, and there were emergency services there. So whether we'll see anything like that, I don't know. What other things you might see, I've got no idea. I wasn't really expecting to see that, so we'll see what we come up. That was a bus by the look of it, that had logos on the side. There's another. That looks a bit plain, that one. But I'm sure we'll see some, so what's going on here? Why is this guy having? I'm not sure what the problem is there. Ah, look, Interbus. There you go. There is a bus, and it has Interbus on it. Before, they were all just blank. So, as usual, Jazzycat's packs work with absolutely no problem at all. Cool. So we should have buses with company names on them now. It's on the other one. Couldn't read what was on that one, but it definitely had stuff on it. So I think we can safely assume that our buses now all have logos and such like, paint jobs and that, and not just plain single colour buses. So that's nice. Back in the UK you might expect to see something like National Express possibly. They're a big bus company in the UK. But being out in Belarus, that's not quite what we will see. That's a fairly plain looking one, that one. And I have added in a second mod, but I'll keep that as a surprise until we reach the end of this journey, and then you should see what that's added. But we'll keep that as a surprise for now. I think it's pretty cool. Hope you agree. Okay, so let's head down this road. I'm not sure how far to the Russian border, but I wouldn't have thought too far. So I expect we'll get there before too long and cross from Belarus into Russia itself. and then head to our drop-off at Rusmap, if that's how it's pronounced, which I seriously doubt it is, but then I'm sure I'd struggle with Russian pronunciation of most things, so... Moscow on the signpost there I saw. That definitely indicates that we are heading towards Russia, without any doubt. Yeah, there's a bus with logos and everything on, look. Slow down behind him. That might be, is that the Interbus one we saw before? Not sure. I was hoping to get alongside him and have a close look. Didn't quite work out that way, but plus the other side of the road. We had something on the side of it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the mod has worked. I did do some offline testing of the bus mod and also the other mod that I've installed, and I also, with a testing profile, have tried out Russian open spaces and Project Balkans. But if you install them now into this this profile, it will end our job and put us in a safe place, like a truck maintenance yard somewhere, and I don't want to lose this job, so what I'm going to do is get to the other end and then install those map extensions, and then it shouldn't hopefully cause us too many problems. But if you try to do it halfway through, because the game world has changed, it's a bit like if you get a version change from SCS on Steam. You get a message sometimes saying your current job's been cancelled and we've parked you somewhere safe because the game version has changed. Well, it does the same thing if you put these mods in, because the game world has changed considerably. So for that reason, not actually added them in until we get to the other end of this journey, but I think Russian open spaces and Project Balkans will both work. So they're the other map extensions I've tried and would like to add in. And it might be interesting to see what effect it has on the percentage of roads explored. Obviously it should go down, there's more roads. I assume it adds in more roads, certainly adds in more cities from what I can make of it. So yet more areas to explore, which is really cool. It's what we want at the end of the day. So it would be nice to make the map as big as you can possibly do, but that's hard because the more mods you keep installing, the more chance you risk incompatibilities and memory. But mind you, I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM, so I shouldn't have issues with memory, but so we're 6 hours, 6¼ hours out now. Parked at the side of the road here. Looks like he's just pulled over for a while, carrying a load of logs. Maybe he's just pulled over and rested there. Is that the arrest area? There you go. Maybe I'll take the phone call, who knows. Okay, so we will continue on our way and keep our eyes open for anything unusual that we might see. Now we're in Rusmap territory. The map is pretty cool, and that river, that is pretty good. Beautiful. As I say, it's an area of the world I don't know, so I really don't know what we are going to see, because I've no idea going through here. But we will see what we come across, see if there's anything particularly worth pointing out. Crest of that hill we just came over there was a bit of a blind spot. You couldn't really see anything on the other side as you came over it, but all was well, and we're continuing on our merry way, doing our best to get there as quickly as we can, sort of thing. in terms of the job, remaining is 13 hours. So that's how long we've got to do the job. We've got 8 hours driving time, and it's actually going to take us 5 hours, 5.5 near enough now. So there's 8 hours remaining on the time before the job has to be there, so we've got 3 hours leeway, which hopefully we won't need. I like the bus pack. It's really cool that we get buses looking, you know, more like they should, rather than just plain blue, plain red, whatever. All adds to the realism when these things look like that, and apparently it adds in loads of extra models of buses, although to be frankly honest, I wouldn't probably know one from another. Not an expert on buses by any means, but I'll take his word for it. The main thing is they look more realistic. That's the point of the mod, from my point of view. Loads of diggers there. They're doing some serious construction work there by the look of it. This road junction. Through we go. And I suspect we're going to be in quite a bit lower speed than 43. Fuel and rest stop to our right, but we don't need that. We've still got over half a tank of fuel. And as you know, we've just rested, so no need to worry about that. We're now about 5 hours out. So hopefully this video won't be too long, and hopefully cutting this into 3 has worked quite nicely without making them ridiculously long for you guys. I know everybody doesn't have 3 hours or something to sit there and watch a video. I don't necessarily have 3 hours to sit there and play all in one go either, so okay, so we're in a city by the look of it now. Hopefully we'll get another city discovered here. A roundabout coming up. So they have roundabouts in Belarus, clearly. The UK loves its roundabouts. Milton Keynes, oh my god. Milton Keynes. Basically every road in Milton Keynes goes to a roundabout. Oh, bumpy. These are these bumpy roads you get on Rusmap sometimes. Milton Keynes, every road ends at a roundabout. So you'll go round a roundabout onto a road and down a way, then you'll hit another roundabout, and then you go round that one and carry on, you hit another roundabout, and so on and so on and so on. And it's all roundabouts. But it's really quite a clever road system, because it's basically based on a grid. So if you imagine you're looking at a square with grid lines in it, the lines going left to right are the horizontals, and the ones going top to bottom are the verticals. So all the roads in Milton Keynes are numbered H something B something, horizontal and vertical, which is fantastic if you know where you want to go. So let's say you're going to a hotel and you know it's at the junction of H8 and B5, for example. So you drive on to H8, horizontal road A, and you go down that until you hit V5. One assumes you go past V1, V2, V3, V4, then get to V5. And there's your hotel, and that's superb. The only problem is, if you don't know Milton Keynes, or you don't know which junction the place is on that you want to get to, then it's absolutely no use whatsoever. It can be quite confusing, but I can see the logic, and it's a very clever system. And the way Milton Keynes is designed is that basically in the centre of Milton Keynes you've got what's called Central Milton Keynes, and that's where all the shops and that are. And then there's no housing in the centre. There's absolutely no residences in the centre at all, as far as I'm aware. But when you go out of the centre and you follow some of the H's or V's to get more to the outskirts, then you come across all the areas where people actually live, which means the only traffic going into the centre is going into the shopping area. There aren't people driving there because they're going home from work or something. I think they'll obviously drive from the shopping centre back home if they work there, but they don't live there. There are no residences in the centre. And that system seems to work rather well. I can't honestly say I've ever had major problems with traffic jams in Milton Keynes. I have a bit of problem with all the roundabouts, but I say it's fine if you know where you're going. If you know you want to be at the intersection of HA and B5, it's fantastic. If you don't, it's absolutely no use to you whatsoever. But for the local people, they must absolutely know exactly what they're doing, and if you're coming along H8 and there's an accident or something, then you can turn off on the V5, go on to A7, and sort of get around the accident, if you see what I mean. So it's a really clever system, right? Built very much on the American block system. I'm sure if you travel in Milton Keynes regularly, it must be fantastic, because, as I say, I think you can get around really easily. So there you go, slight diversion to Milton Keynes. If anybody doesn't know Milton Keynes, it's sort of central England. Buckinghamshire is the county. It's sort of in the middle of England. Damn it. Between Birmingham and Oxford, two big cities either side. Milton Keynes itself is a pretty big city now. It's also famous for the concrete cows. Concrete cows, you're saying? Why would anybody have cows made of concrete? And that is a very good question. I've got no idea. But as you go into Milton Keynes, I can't remember exactly which direction it's from, but as you go in, there's a field, and standing in this field are 4 cows made of concrete. I think it's 4. There's a few anyway, made of concrete. Of course, they don't move around a lot. They don't do a lot of mooing or anything like that. But there they are. Milton Keynes is quite famous for its concrete cows. So it's a bit different, to say the least. But, okay, so enough about Milton Keynes. Let's carry on. Is this the border, I wonder? It could be. Yes, Russia, look. There's a sign over there that says Russia. So we are leaving Belarus and entering Russia with 3 hours, look like a bit over to go. That's cool. So we're not far out at all. Cool beans. Shouldn't be a problem. £2 toll. Okay, that's fine. Live with that, and on we go. So, here we are in... Oh, somebody carrying a big boat there. So here we are in Russia. So I can't really read signs that well if they're Russian. Cyrillic alphabet is called, I think. That won't mean anything to me. So unless there's an English translation, like there was on that sign that said Russia, the signs are not going to be any help to me whatsoever. But hopefully, we've got English translations on them. Speeding a bit there, need to slow down. Okay, so we're able to cruise control at 56, which is the limit down here, so that should avoid any Russian policemen giving me tickets, hopefully. I personally don't think we've done bad in terms of speeding fines and such stuff. We haven't had any major accidents and serious damage. Oh, police, look, there you go. We haven't had anything major drastically go wrong, I don't think, so hope it wouldn't as well, but you never know. As I say, sometimes accidents that happen are not your fault. If you don't believe me, check out Squirrel's video, Cardiff to Rostock disaster. That accident definitely wasn't his fault. There you go. Very often they're not, as you can. A couple of limousines, a couple of stretch limos or something. It's some unusual cargoes, I have to say. Really cool. So yet again it's chops to Jazzy Cat for yet another superb pack with these buses in. I don't know how that guy does it. What on earth was that English cat? Yeah, great stuff. All the Jazzy Cat packs tend to work with each other, and I don't tend to have problems with them not being compatible with new versions of Euro Truck either. He always seems to bring out new versions fairly quickly, updates them to meet the latest Euro Truck version and so on, so it's really cool stuff. Really good. And adds so much more to the game. I do like the real company names, and I do like the different cargoes that we can take. So many now. Quite interested to get some of the more unusual ones, I have to say. What are we carrying this time? Or wood bark, that's right. Well, there must be laying some wood bark down somewhere, one assumes. In Russia. Don't Russia use a lot of wood bark? Surely they'd have their own forests, wouldn't they? Forests in Russia, I would have thought. Importing wood bark. Well, there you go. Maybe there's something special about this wood bark. Maybe it's a special type of wood bark. Who knows? Anyway, I did see a sign back there which said on it Moskva, M-O-C-K-V-A, which is Russian for Moscow, and it also said Moscow in English. So there's a fair chance that some of the road signs will have both, which will be helpful to me, I have to say. Moskva I'd be okay with, I pretty much know that's Moscow, but anything else I would be struggling with. Sort of know St. Petersburg I think is in the north of Russia, Moscow sort of in the middle, I think. Siberia I think is to the east of Russia, isn't it? Entirely sure. We're only 50 miles out now, so we're almost at our destination, so I need to start concentrating on that really. Okay, so 40 miles out, we're about to pass a petrol station, a maintenance area and rest stops. So I'm not sure if this is the edge of where we're headed or whether this is a different place, but it looks pretty cool. I like it. It's nice. Pretty cool. Here's a petrol station. Always handy to know. We're on half a tank, so we're okay. But I don't know what prices are like. Couldn't see the prices on there as it came by. It will be in Russian rubles, I guess, whereas I'd want to know what it is in pounds, but obviously when you stop to fuel, it tells you when you're fueling how much you're paying in the currency you've selected in the game, which in my case is British pounds, GBP. Only because that's what I'm used to and I can appreciate value better, so if I'm upgrading the truck or something at a later stage, I can say, that seems alright, or that seems expensive. Whereas seeing it in perhaps euros or whatever and trying to convert it back would be a little bit more hassle, so to see the prices in the currency you're familiar with makes sense to me. And that's why, I guess, SCS has loads of different currencies in the game, so you can select which currency you want. So where are we going? Are we going off here? I don't think we are. No, there's loads of X's. We couldn't go off there. Cars can, but we can't. So we need to just continue up here by the look of it. Turns a bit sharp, to say the least. Okay, so I like the scenery, I've got to say. This looks really quite nice. This is what Russia really looks like. It's pretty nice so far. As I say, not been to Russia, don't know too much about it, so I can't comment how realistic this is, but maybe somebody out there can. Anybody wants to tell us? Oh, I know that area, yeah, it looks just like that, or I'm not quite so sure about that bit, or whatever, it's fine. It's always nice to know these things and learn, you know, how realistic people find it for their area of the world. Another petrol station coming up, so we're all right for petrol stations on this road. We're only 8 miles now. We're going off in a minute, so we're going to be turning off right into where we want to be. Now I assume those prices on the petrol stations are in rubles. I assume. It seems very low, 32 point something. I can't believe that's 32 pence a litre if it isn't going up on the way out, because that's ridiculously cheap. Bus, pretty little plain one. I need to go left. Ooh, why are we going backwards? Might sharply uphill, is it? Okay, getting out here. Okay. So Vyazma, if that's how it's pronounced, is where we are. Oh, nice. Yeah, I like it. Very nice. Lots of flats. Quite cool looking. Speed bumps in the middle of the road. I don't know quite what that's about. Oh yeah, look at this. This does look quite nice. Looks like Russia has quite a lot of big blocks of flats from what I can see, if this is realistic to the area. A few Russians walking around. Hello there. Sorry, I don't know any Russian. Can't say hello to you in Russian. I'll look it up next time I come back. Probably not, but there you go. Right, so where are we going to? We're going to UPS. And that looks like it's just around this next corner. Oh, loan instalment just been paid. I might pay off that loan before too long. I do usually sort of pay off the loan when I can, and then when it comes to getting a better truck, pick another loan. Right, now guys, the other mod I installed. Here, you're going to see what it does, hopefully. So you see that gate? They weren't there before. If I drive up to the gate, theoretically, there we go. You have to get very close to it, but if I just move back a little bit now, stop there, the gate opens for you. How cool is that? And that seems to work on all the depots from what I can make of it so far. There might be one or two odd ones where it doesn't, but I can see it seems to work. So I think that's pretty cool. You might sound me to be pleased, but I think that's pretty cool and adds another level of realism to the game. So I'm sure that's what it would be like at a lot of these depots. They'd have security and everything, wouldn't they? You'd have thought. Is that going to let us park? Yeah. Okay, so let's unload the cargo. reasonable. Oh, come on. Better than reasonable. I think we got a fair bit of damage from somewhere. Okay, so we leveled up. So I'm going to put that onto fragile. And how much money have we got? 93,434. So I'm going to end the video there. Next time when you come back, we'll need to rest before we pick up another job, and then we'll see where we go from here. Currently, we've got 3% damage, which is next to nothing. What I'm going to do is add in the map mods I was talking about, Russia Open Spaces and Project Balkans. I'm going to try and add those in, so when you come back, you'll probably find it's parked me somewhere safe, which will be the maintenance yard, which is where I want to go anyway, so it's fine. So I'll see you next time, guys. In the meantime, take care, happy trucking, bye-bye.